But we have something a little bit down in the future that we want to talk about. It's going to happen in March. And Robbie Irons and George Drysdale are going to be the coaches of a Komet Elite Old-Timers team that is going to throw the challenge out to the Detroit Red Wing Old-Timers. And this could be a fun game. And I understand you've got a couple of imports that are coming into play. George, who might they be?
Well, as far as coaches are concerned,
who are the players coming in?
Oh, Bobby McNeil and Bobby Rivard and
Davy Norris?
Davy Norris, okay. Yeah. Those are the only three coming in, Bob.
Oh, I understand Bobby Rivard is really looking forward to it, but he's in a complete panic. He's not sure how he's going to, how it's going to work out. But he's still playing hockey. He's sort of like Eddie Long. He won't quit playing.
No. Well, Bobby McNeil's the same way. I don't know about Norris, but I know McNeil is on that ice every chance he gets. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Robbie and I are having a lot of fun with it already. We're getting an early start on it, and I asked Robbie for a couple of minutes of his time at the first practice so he could teach me how to work that latch on the gate. And he's not sure whether he's got enough time to give me or not.
Plus, goaltenders are so far away from it, they don't know whether it goes in or out. That's going to be funny, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we have a good turnout for it, because I'm sure the people will certainly enjoy it.
That's going to be before one of our games, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Bob, as far as I can tell right now.
And one ticket covers all.
Yes, I was just going to say the ticket that gets in for that, why it'll give you the big game also.
That's the kind of a deal you can tailgate right in the building between games.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, right.
And we understand that...
March 11th, I think it is.
March 11th?
I think that's what it's...
we understand Uncle Eddie's going to lace him up again.
Yeah, Eddie's going to be here, and I understand that he's working out pretty hard, and... of course, you're never going to... Eddie's down at the park all the time, that outdoor park, and... I was supposed to come out for their New Year's Day skate, but I couldn't find anybody, Bob, in town that sharpens double runners.
No.
Yeah. And that's all I got, you see.
See, mine are pretty sharp, but my knee's no good anymore. You can use mine.
I was thinking about that, Bob. I remember when you played for the Komets against the United States Olympic team.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? You laced them up. Are you going to lace them up for this, Morris?
If it hadn't been for having knee surgery, I would have loved to do it one more time. Yeah.
There you go.
But I might get out. They got sled hockey.
Yeah.
And, I'm a sponsor of that sled hockey tournament.
I see that.
Over at McMillan Park. I could fool them all and get one of those sleds. They wouldn't know what to do with it.
You would dazzle them with sled work.
That's right. Indeed we would, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And I'd already be on my butt where I belong to.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's going to be a great night. I hope we have a good turnout for it. They'll enjoy seeing all the old guys. I understand it's the old guys, the younger old guys. Is that the way to put it, Bob? The guys that just...
Well, the gray ones is one group and the bald ones is the other, right?
Yeah.
You know anything about the Red Wing team yet, George?
No, I haven't heard anything. In fact, I don't know who the lineup. I asked Robbie if he saw the lineup for Fort Wayne, but the only ones I know of is the three guys from out of town. Isn't that something?
And
Eddie.
That's gonna be
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And I understand Doofus is going to goaltend for you.
Doofus. Yeah. I thought Robbie might go in the twine, but he said he doesn't have any equipment and he can't see anyway. I said, well, you couldn't see when you were playing. What are you talking about?
That's what made him successful. He just stood still and he hit most everything, Just like today, players will hit the goaltender every time.
Yeah, right. Oh, dear.
But, as much fun as seeing that game will be to be a part of it on both these teams for some of the stories that are going to be told. I mean, the first liar doesn't stand a chance.
Man, Bob, I can hardly wait to get in that room and everybody be telling everybody else how great they were, won't they?
Indeed. Well, you know, there's a deal struck now, and apparently they asked Colin Chin to play.
Oh, okay.
And Chinner says, I haven't played since I left, but I'll play if Sims comes out.
Okay, that's good.
And Chinner he requested whoever's going to run the team to be able to put Simsy on his line so Sims would say at one time in his life he played with a quality player.
All right, I like that.
They're going to be doggy before it's done.
Yeah.
And a lot of those Red Wing old-timers Simsy played against.
Yeah, he would, sure.
Having played in, in Boston and Toronto.
In Boston and Toronto, and no, I'm looking forward to see the Detroit lineup, see who they bring in.
Yeah.
I wonder if Big Gord's coming down.
I kind of doubt that.
I do, too. Yeah.
Maybe you'd find Mark coming down. I don't know.
Yeah, you could.
But they'll be representative. There's no doubt about that.
They'll have a good turnout.
And they're going to put Lindsay in handcuffs so he can't swing, I guess. But, I mean, it's the spirit of it and what they're doing with it and the fundraiser and the good it's going to create that's going to make the difference. And it's, I don't care how old these guys are. They were the pillars of the National Hockey League at a time when the National Hockey League was only 6 teams and many of these guys. Yeah. And if it weren't for the skill levels and their dedication, they didn't make a penny to speak of.
No.
But they kept the greatest game in the world alive at a time. They were the only ones that could do it.
You're absolutely right, Bob. I know Stanowski, who played for Toronto, who's a good friend of mine, and when he told me one night at a little party that we were in Toronto, and he told me how much he made for the season, and I was shocked.
You should have told him come down to the eye. Now, in all sports, the athletes who paid the price to keep it going were the ones that never made a penny.
Yeah.
And now they're so filthy rich, they forget the heritage of the game and the people who made it.
That's
Without
right.
them, they wouldn't be making this money because it wouldn't be there.
There you go. Yeah. And when we think of the nights we traveled like these, cold night like tonight, how we traveled down those highways
with cars. Oh my! We talked about that the other night.
Did you?
And I remember on the train to Johnstown, Puggy O'Brien would use his tie for a sling on his arm so his shoulder wouldn't go out.
you know when Puggy got hurt, checked. I forget who it was we were playing, but anyway. He got checked and he was laying on the ice, and he was telling now, I said, my arm. So they brought a tie out and he put the tie around his neck and around his arm. And so after the game, we're all down at the old Berghoff Gardens having one. And Alex walks in and he said, the arm looks pretty good tonight, Puggy. He said, I'm sore, Alex.
That was rehab, But the millions of laughs available, priceless, and that's where my life has been. And you know why I wouldn't want to quit this, because it's still going. Not the way it was, but it's still great, and the kids we have here are excellent. Well,
and you
Coach
do a
George
Drysdale.
You
do a wonderful job.
We're working. I got you fooled again. But so we'll be staying in touch with you and find out what your talent's going to be.
Okay, sounds wonderful, Bob.
The old timers coach George Drysdale, as he and Robbie will split the duties. Be back in a moment on Whoa Comet Hockey.